Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Geomologist Presents. Today is day 30 of hashtag RPGaDay 2025. You think that with all the experience that I've had this month in saying that, I would get it correct.
Never know. You'll have to give us a Yelp review on that.
I think I might have to. Yeah,
On a scale on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest, what was your experience with RPG a Day 2025?
well, I thought it was a five, really, because we're doing every single day. We're doing it together. They're very short and sweet takes, I think. We've said some very interesting things. Not a lot of feedback, but I think people are like totally inundated with all these hashtag RPG a day 2025 recordings and prompts, and maybe they'll roundabout in a way get back to it. But it's fun. That's what we don't do it for. We love the feedback. We don't do it for the feedback. We do it for the fun and our engagement to you from this side. So experience, other than a Yelp review, what does experience mean in the context of gaming?
I think it starts from a young age and works its way up. I can remember my first time playing an RPG of any kind. It was Dungeons and Dragons. I almost feel, and I'm not 100% certain, but I feel like at least half the people watching their first experience was probably D&D as well. But sitting down and being nervous, I don't know how to play the game. I don't know what all these multi-sided dice are. And it took me a long time to realize what all those dice were and how to pick them out. And what do you mean when you say roll percentage dice or roll this or roll that? You know, different things, or even my experience learning new character sheets when they come up. So I think my takeaway is the experience is new and different every game.
Right. And that's pretty interesting. That you bring that up about the dice. When I ran that game at Dragon's Lair for free RPG Day this year, we had a new player who was like that, didn't saw these dice, thought they were cool, got a set, but didn't know when to use them or what they meant. And they were also, hey, which dice do I use? Which dice do I use? I thought that was very interesting. But yeah, experience with the hobby, it goes way back for myself as well. And experience also is, a lot of games use this thing called experience points to arbitrarily determine, how you level in the game. Do you like that idea, or would you prefer like a skills-based game, Amy? Steamroller?
I think I've kind of played enough games that I've played both ways, and I really kind of feel like I'm indifferent.
Yeah, interesting.
Because if I build up experience and then I have to have a certain amount of experience to get a reward, that's one way of playing.
Hmm.
But if I use skill points and I have to have so many skills to get a reward, it's really kind of the same logic, in my opinion. I feel as though one takes longer to achieve, and it's my experience that it's gaining XP, in my opinion, takes longer. And not only does it take longer, but I feel as though sometimes the amount of experience I feel like I get for an adventure doesn't equal the rewards I can pick.
Oh, interesting.
It's
Yeah,
just my feeling.
like some games say I guess it would be like some of the Freely games, right? Like Twilight 2000, also the Cohors and Octoon Cthulhu. You get experience points and then you use them to buy talents or up your skills or whatever. I think that's another interesting way to kind of almost a hybrid of it. Whereas instead of like in DCC or a D&D type game, you get experience and you go up a level, and then you get a whole bunch of stuff, when you
Right.
level up.
But I think my feeling on that is when you start at level one and it takes you 4 or 5 or 6 sessions to get to the point where you can even just go up one level, sometimes that's pretty frustrating as a character
Well, it's a
and as a
GM's
player.
job. It's a GM's job to make sure that that goes in a kind of a regular way, and it doesn't frustrate the characters that So I think I've tried to do it. I think I've done a good job so that players stay engaged because they feel like they get to a level in a reasonable amount of time, like, 2 or 3 sessions to get to a new level or so, just
Mhm.
depending, right? Um, I don't know. It
Right.
might it might slow down here in my Pathfinder second edition game because they're like 10th level, and it seems that we're only able in the course of a 3 or so hour game to get 2 encounters in, right? So that's taken a little bit of time, but it seems that we're almost at the end of this current book in this adventure path. It's called Bloodlords. It's a 6-part adventure path, AP for short, and they're 10th going to become 11th level. So,
Right.
you know, and I think that's something
But
that Pathfinder 2 does, which is kind of nice, is that every level costs 1,000 XP. So it's not like, it's not like, it goes like 2,000 and 4,000 and 8,000. You get the same amount of XP, and of course, since the game is designed such that the challenges uh, scale as you level, you're going to meet the same number of challenges, at least that's the theory, to gain a level.
right. But outside of just gaining and using XP, I think experience to me means trying different games and seeing which ones I like and which ones I don't like. So I think over the years, I've played multiple games, and there's some games out there that if you put them in front of me, I don't wish to ever play them again because I
Mm,
feel as though I'm set up to fail. I don't like starting a game that there's no possible outcome where I can, in my mindset, win or
mhm.
succeed. And we've played a few of them that way, and I just kind of wiggle away from them.
Well, but is that the goal of the game to win? Isn't it the goal just to learn from the experience?
I
See what
don't
I did
know,
there? I used that experience prompt.
using the experience again. But I mean, yes and no. I mean, it depends on what the game is. But if the game purports itself to be one thing and it's not, that leaves you with a very bad experience.
But did you enjoy Walking Dead?
I did. I'm not talking about Walking Dead. I'm
No, I
just,
know, but that's a game
yeah.
to me that you're like destined to fail.
But
So, but
I feel as though I have opportunities to win. I
mhm.
have opportunities to progress. I can choose my own destiny. I'm talking about we played a game you and I taped together where you
Oh,
make decisions, and no matter what decision you made, it's the same result. You cannot successfully live through the encounter or get out of the encounter or in any way, shape, or change in any way, shape, or form change the outcome of the game.
right. It's like
So,
it's your experiences to get to the quantum ogre effectively. Like it's like a video game. There's only one set outcome.
right. In a video game, I expect that.
Hmm.
But in a game that talks about making choices and you can affect it, I feel lied to.
Yeah,
So as a player, you've noticed I've never wanted to circle back to that game. I've never wanted to play another game like that
yeah.
because the fun of gaming is to learn and get better and make choices and see how your choice affects the outcome. It's like the choose your own adventure that no matter what you choose, you really can't make any changes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you'd rather have meaningful choices that make meaningful outcomes.
I want a reason to play.
Right. All right.
So, yeah, that's my experience. And
Well,
maybe our listeners can leave us a message as to what their experience with a game like that would be.
yeah, good or bad, what are your opinions?
Right,
So,
because there's a lot of video games that have become RPGs or RPGs that have become video games. Star Wars and Dune and Star Trek, and you look at all of those, and the video game is vastly different from the RPG, but the video game still allows you that same freedom as you have in the RPG to choose your outcome.
Yeah, I think those survival games where you have to build stuff like a world, like those probably more free form and it's a different experience every time. But like a like that one game that he played, one of the guys we watched played recently, um, where he's like,
Uh,
well, these NPCs in the game are arguing. I'm just gonna walk away, and they just wouldn't let him sneak away. Right? The game wouldn't let
yeah.
him sneak away.
No, he had to listen to it.
No, he
So
had
he
to li
went around looting so that way when they were done talking, he could go on his merry little way. But yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
And but you still have the ability to do that. You can still progress in the game up to a degree,
right, but it's still the same story, right?
same story. You just don't always have to listen to it
Right. Right.
unless you die and respawn in the same situation.
True.
I
Oh
do that
well.
enough.
Oh well. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Streamrolla. We got one more day after this.
Day 31. Well, I'll have to say it. Good
Okay.
night
Night and good
and good
rolling.
rolling.